Oh, yeah. It's your confidence coach, Rolanda, here checking in. Confidence Boost Academy live every Tuesday, except for last Tuesday. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to take a off. I had to take some time off so that I could reconfigure, talk to some people, listen to some problems, formulate some solutions, become that sacred space. But I'm back. This is a yet another edition of Confidence Boost Academy. I am your coach, your confidence coach, Rolanda, and I am here to basically help you move from the shadows of your life into center stage by helping you to dramatically increase your confidence. Because I don't know about you. I mean, have you ever tried to get something without some confidence? I know you have. That's why you're watching this. That's why you're watching this, and that's why I am here to help you out. I have these lives every Tuesday. I have a free webinar that helps you to get started on that work of becoming absolutely true to yourself, getting started today. I have all types of resources because this is super serious to me. This is Confidence Boost Academy. Helping women to increase their confidence is extremely important to me, which brings us to today's topic, which is essentially the origin story of Confidence Boost Academy and why I am a confidence coach. So I'm going to wait a couple more minutes for a couple people to show up. Um, and we're going to see what happens. I'm going to tell you the story. This is kind of off the cuff in that I didn't write anything down, but not but the opposite of off the cuff because I've been living this life for a little while. I've been helping people a little while. I was born with a certain amount of skills, certain set of skills, and I am here to use those skills, okay, to help you to boost that confidence so you can go out and get what is for you, so you can start living the life that you wrote before you even stepped on this earthly plane. Because part of the issue is, you know, um my job here on this earth is to help people self-actualize, to become who they were meant to be, because there's so much pain in this world from people who are not allowed to be who they were born to be, not allowed to, how do I put this? They weren't allowed to, express who they truly are and develop the skills and learn the things and do the things to basically train themselves up. I am here to help people who may be later in life in doing that. Um, it's part of my spirituality. I subscribe to Yoruba Ifa. Part of the reason I am here with this energy is I actually did what we call a heterogation, meaning I got my ego self, my lower self, aligned with my higher self or my Ori, and that gave me the energy to talk to you here today. Yes. So, this is for you. If you are wondering why Confidence Boost Academy, why would someone devote their lives to helping someone, well, not just someone, a whole bunch of women, a whole gang, a whole rack of women become more confident and live their best lives? Well, I'm here to tell you that story. And why this is the reason I think this is important is because up to this point, I have basically been giving you what I would call educational material. But then you probably watch it and you're like, "Oh, that's useful, but why is this woman telling me this? Why does she go to the trouble of developing a logo and creating a coaching program and being certified as a coach and helping women like me to become more aligned with who I am and my soul? Why would she do that?" Well, here's why. So my origin story is, I probably could have been a statistic. I was born in the mid 80s. My family is from California and Mississippi. I came from a teen mother. She was 17 when she had me. I didn't have a father figure because my father, he just basically told my mom, "Hey, I want to finish high school." And so my mom started this journey of trying to get herself together. Well, I take that back. She was 17, she was 18, and she was trying to raise herself while raising me. So she went into the Navy, and that set up a whole bunch of events. She went in the Navy, and I ended up moving around a lot. So I lived in South Carolina, I lived in Southern California, I lived in Louisville, Mississippi. Maybe somebody listening on this is from Louisville. Hey, you didn't destroy me. Thank you. But shout out to you and your sweet tea. That's what's up. So I actually went through a lot. I went through bullying. I went through certain kinds of abuse that kind of knocked me down, and for a long time it was a trauma. It was a source of trauma, a source of shame, source of sadness. However, in the past 5 or 10 years with education and learning that I'm not the only one dealing with these things, I've learned that I can take those experiences and use them for make them useful for my community. So along the way, yeah, I mentioned I was bullied pretty much from the second grade to the 10th grade, or ninth grade. And during that time, they broke me down, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't even broken down. I didn't have the chance yet to form to be broken down yet. So I had teachers who would punish me for reading ahead. I had teachers who would I had a bully that was a teacher. The students in the class were also bullies. And what really changed my mind and my heart around this and healing from this was my cousin told me one day, she said, they must have been after you early. You must have something special. You must have something that can be used to help other people. And that started developing from a young age. So that was one building block of Confidence Boost Academy being essentially my past and all of these ideas of who I'm supposed to be and what I'm capable of. In the mid 80s, a child of a single mother from the hoods of Pomona or anywhere else, Pomona, California, was not really thought much of. I there's this narrative I've gotten my whole life. We don't really expect much of you. Yet, yet and still, God gave me such a repertoire of experiences that helped me to turn that poison into something useful for myself and for my ideal clients who I know have gone through similar things. Bullying is not hasn't been eradicated yet, which is freaking sad. So right now today there are people whose self concepts have either been messed with from an early age or they're getting messed with in the workplace. So it takes a lot of well, I want to say it takes a lot of work to come back from that, but it really does. Um, but when you are a healer, I have hesitated to call myself a healer, but I am a healer. But when you are a healer, you eventually, if you do enough self reflection, enough self work, self knowledge, you get to learn that those experiences were basically authored to give you the qualities, the depth of understanding, the empathy you need to help other people like you. And that has enabled me to give meaning to the various pains and traumas I've had in life. Um, I remember praying at one point, well, not one point, this used to be a repeated prayer, let Lord God, however you conceive of God, I conceive of God as Olodumare and pretty much everything. Lord God, let this pain mean something. Let this have some sort of meaning for me, for my descendants, for anyone who I am supposed to help in this life. Lord, let this have meaning. That was years ago. That thought was like a life raft that helped me to start getting myself in a more healed place so that I can help other women do the same. Another brick in this wall of Confidence Boost Academy came from witnessing some fuck shit. I'm a cuss. I'm a cuss right now. I don't usually cuss, y'all, but I witnessed some fuck shit. Okay. So one time, my friends and I were at a bar. We were all vibing together, creating that black girl magic, that thing that happens when women get together, starts off kind of laughing, that feeling, that light. And while we were at that bar, there was a young woman who you could kind of look at her and you could just tell she was shrunken in on herself. She was, she didn't have that oomph that she needed, but she was attracted to us. And so we noticed as she actually, watched us, she was inching closer to us, like just kind of inching closer to us as we were laughing, talking, commiserating. These were close friends of mine too. And she just kind of ended up sitting with us. We were talking, we were laughing, getting to know her. But I didn't know that her boyfriend was at the bar. All right. And usually that's okay. That's fine. Do you, boo? However, her boyfriend was abusive as fuck. With me, God gave me a certain amount of discernment and the love of sitting and watching and listening and learning from people, listening to people. I could just tell. So he was just like really imposing over her. She's like, if you just think of a flower, she's a completely wilted flower. And he was abusive, and we were talking, we were good before he came over, but eventually when he came over, we were having some discussion, and she says, I'll never forget it, she said, my only purpose is to give birth to this man's child, is to be a vessel for his seed. And I was like, first of all, girl, it is not 1923. It had to have been 2016, 2017 at that point. I don't know. But girl, that broke my heart. Like, is so much programming. So much programming from probably a whole lifetime before she met this person until her relationship and then on. Like, she was convinced. I could feel it. I feel people. I could feel that she was utterly convinced that she didn't have any other value than to have some abusive man's child. And like Michael Jordan, I kind of took that personally. I still carry that with me. Um, and so she lit a fire in me that gave me the impetus. How do I help people to avoid this? How do I help people? How do I help women to get to the point where they are so aligned with who they are, who they came here to be, their inborn talents, skills, and abilities? How do I help them to develop those so that they become a force? Stop cussing. A force to be reckoned with. Period. So, if you're just joining me, we're about at the halfway mark of Confidence Boost Academy Live on Tuesdays, and I'm explaining to you the origin story of, or really origin stories, because there are so many reasons for this, of Confidence Boost Academy, why I'm a confidence coach, why I'm a confidence coach for women, and why I show up every Tuesday, why I live this life. I'm so obsessed with coaching, so obsessed with helping women to move from the shadows of their lives into center stage so they can live their actual best lives. So yeah, that I'm going to continue with what I'm talking about cuz it's good to me. We turning up on a Tuesday, Confidence Boost Academy Live. Okay. So yes, as I was explaining, the girl in the bar, she's had this look, this vibe that was not that just didn't honor her root as the divine feminine. Yeah, you maybe your mission is to be a mother, but I'll be damned, that's not all the only thing that you're here to be. And I think I just lost a viewer that I just said that because this is kind of controversial. But yes, that's what I'm here to tell you. You are not here just to be. Actually, let me scratch that. The reason my reply to her was, yeah, you might believe this, right? You might believe that your only purpose is to have this man's child. However, when that child gets here, that child is going to see you as God, period. They're going to see you and their father, if your father is around. They're going to see you as God. However, if you don't see yourself as God, as being that vessel of divinity that is here to do a specific thing, the thing that you agreed to come in, that child is going to suffer. Okay, that child, ask me how I know. That child is going to suffer. That child is going to be lost. That child is going to pick up on that low self-esteem, that lack of confidence. You don't even have to say anything. It'll just be in the way that you handle other people's interaction with you, your boundaries, how you handle your own passions, or if not, if you sink your passions down in order to live too small, that child is going to see that, male or female. And it's important to get yourself in a place where where you can be a positive motivation, a positive inspiration to that child instead of continuing. For some of us, this unconscious living manifests in generational curses, right? So you have people who are young, haven't had a chance yet to figure out who they are, what they want out of life, and they're out here having children. And the person who is not quite in that place, they have the child, they act out subconscious patterns that they learned that they haven't yet had a chance to unlearn, teach that to that child. That child is probably going to end up doing the same thing if there's not any kind of conscious effort to unlearn unhelpful things and learn helpful things. That's kind of how these generational curses and unconscious patterns work. But real talk, in 2022, even though they're doing their best to roll back our protections on, family planning, um, not paying us equally, and all the other oppressions that come with women and being women of color. They're doing all of that. It's because we are the freest women of our life. We can choose. We can choose to hold off. We can choose to be completely abstinent, even, um, in order to find ourselves, become the most confident and best versions of ourselves, get our education, start a business, maybe write that book, do all of the things that you came here to do before you have to devote your time, energy, effort, all your unextra resources to a child that you're not ready to have. So all of this is actually just really wrapped up in the why of Confidence Boost Academy. Another reason is I kind of want to, like, just kind of going back to that earlier story of the woman and the abusive man. I want to see, I'm a disruptor. I was born a disruptor. I found this out by looking at my natal chart, by looking at my experiences, and by looking at the world, because this shit just ain't sufficient. Um, Another reason behind Confidence Boost Academy is I want to see women at their best, living their best, not settling, not accepting the crap that is out here, because there's some crap. I want to see us doing that on such a large level that the people who we would be in relationships with would be forced to do better. And what I mean by that is, if I had my if I could go back and talk to that woman and coach her and make sure she, because with abusive men, of course, you have to make sure that there's safety. Um, because with abusive men, one of the most dangerous times in a woman's life is if she's trying to leave behind an abusive man. They become extreme, even, well, I don't want to say become extremely violent because they're already violent, but they become more violent. There are so many women who have lost their lives dealing with men who are just not up to the challenge. They're not impressive. And they know they're not impressive because if you are fly, you don't have to abuse anybody to stay with you. Period. I don't care. Like, nobody can convince me of any different. So I want to see a large scale change. I want to see so many women being confident in themselves, whoever they are, with whatever gifts they came with whatever talents, dreams, aspirations. I want to see them become the best versions of themselves, because it will scare off the wrong people. And yes, I want them scared. I want them to just flee. Flee away from you, sis, because you don't deserve that. Nobody deserves that. But if you get to a certain point in your self-confidence journey and your self-love journey, an abusive man will probably see you as too much of a challenge. Of course, there are exceptions, and you're not, none of us are at fault. But you definitely you dramatically decrease the chances that some asshole can really get that much of a foothold into your life, so much that they mess with your self confidence, your self concept, cut you off from people who love you, cut you off from your own self love. The chances of that happening when you are firmly seated in who you are and who you came here to be and what you came here to do, you can't tell me no different. So that is why I'm here. That's why Confidence Boost Academy. That's why I went through the trouble of getting my degrees, getting my coaching certifications. I have more than one. Working with women who aren't in their juggernaut status. Maybe that should be one of my hashtags, juggernaut status. They're not there yet. Because it's really just bigger than any. I take all of this so seriously. Maybe I take it too seriously, y'all. But I'm not going to apologize for that. I'll never apologize for it. It's the passion that animated me onto this earthly plane. I am here to help you develop your destiny, get in touch with it, live it out in this life, because your destiny is what will help the world become a better place, especially if all of us are doing it on the same scale, on the same level, with the same amount of passion. And I am here to be a catalyst. Catalyst? It's late. I can't talk. I'm here to be a catalyst to help you to do that. If you feel, if you vibe with this, I'm here to help. I have brought myself back from the brink. I've helped my clients come back from the brink to become more firmly entrenched in the truth of their own souls, live in integrity with their own souls, make decisions and everything in congruence with their own souls. And I am here to continue doing that. So what I have is I have space on my calendar for 30-minute break. Well, really 45-minute breakthrough sessions. I forgot my own calendar. 45-minute breakthrough sessions to help you get started so you can get more aligned with yourself in as little as 12 weeks. And all you have to do is type ready into the comments. That could be if you are watching live or if you are watching on the replay, because these videos go to my personal page, Confidence Boost Academy page, as well as Confidence Coach Rolanda. That page, it might go to LinkedIn, it might go, I'm everywhere. I'm putting it on YouTube because this is a call. This is a call for those who relate to what I'm talking about, who want to use this year, use whatever time they have, the present, you only have the present, to use that to get started on living their best lives and leaving behind those circumstances that keep them small, that keep them in a hiding and disempowered place. I'm here to tell you, I'm here to work with you so that you can get out of that place and start living and being the example to, say, you might have little kids now, you might have some girls who are watching you, little girls, little boys even watching you, and you need to get up to speed. I'm here to help you with that. If you don't even have kids yet and you are working on yourself so that you can be that more grounded, more healthy version of yourself, I'm here for that too. Because we're all working on something like that, a lot of us, if we're aware. And if you're not aware, I'm here to tell you. I'm here to provide tips. I'm here to provide breakthrough sessions, anything, because that's what I was born to do. And that's who I was born to be. So again, we talked about the origin story of Confidence Boost Academy, including my personal story, including a story of the woman who essentially lit the fire inside of me that made me say, I'll be damned if I continue to let this be a problem. I want to work with women to get them out of this space. And I talked about my mission for the world and what I would love to see, which is why I'm an entrepreneur, which is why I came up with this thing. And if you are interested, type ready into the chat and I'll reach out to you directly, DM. I'll send you a message and that'll let you get a link to my calendar and we can get you started on your confidence coaching journey. Well, that's it for now. We just have 1 minute left. This was your confidence coach, Rolanda, from Confidence Boost Academy Live, coming to you. And I'll be back next week. And we're going to talk about imposter syndrome and why it's not a thing. It's not a thing. Just because we talk about it, it's not a thing. But we're going to talk about it next Tuesday. Hope to see you later. Signing off. Have a good week. Have a good weekend. All that. Bye.